Okay, so in this video, I want to talk about how do you stop comparing yourself to other people all the time. I get this question asked more often than any other question. I'm not sure what it is, but there's something in our psyche that always looks at what other people are doing and immediately compares with what we are doing. It compares their houses, their jobs, their vacations, their spouses and partners, whoever, to our own and say, well, that person is doing better than I am. Therefore, I should feel bad because of it. I should feel jealous. I should feel envious. Or simply, I don't know how I'm supposed to feel, but I'm not feeling good. It's almost as if there's a gene inside of us that scans for our surroundings, trying to top up the other person. I actually think it deals with an evolutionary biology with us because we did develop in small communities of 200 and 250 people. And we use this comparison to other people as a way to get ourselves ahead. Now, the problem is we don't live in the 200 to 200 community people anymore. So this tool, this thing that we do is no longer necessary, but it's still here. I'm not going to make the entire video about why we feel the way we do. I want to talk about how do you actually stop comparing yourself with other people. There's one thing that I found works better than anything else, and it's not a technique, it's not a mindset shift, it's not anything. It actually has to do with where do you choose to ground yourself in. Now let me explain. You see, most of my clients are fairly successful. They're doing well in life. They're doing well financially. They're doing well in their careers. However, there's always that someone who is doing slightly better than them, just slightly. And they can't help themselves but to look above themselves. In social psychology, they call this downward and upward comparison. And no matter how much they achieve, no matter how good looking their partner is, they always find somebody that is doing better than them, has a better partner than them, has a better car than them, has a better house than them, are generally happier than them, and so on. Now, because this was such a frequent thing that came up on our calls, I had to go deeper into it. So here's what I found. The reason you compare yourself to other people is because you haven't really found yourself yet. You haven't found what's actually important to you. You haven't found what you actually want to do or want to be. When you know what you really want, when you know who you are, when you know what is most important to you in your life, and you stick to that, you no longer compare yourself to other people. Part of what makes us feel happy in our lives is when we find meaning in our lives, when we find something meaningful. When you compare yourself to other people, it almost always means that you haven't found the meaningful thing for yourself. You're still playing the high school game. That kid has a better t-shirt than me. That kid has better sneakers than me. That kid is better at basketball than me. That kid's parents are richer than mine, etc., etc. But when you find what is most important to you, when you find the meaning of your life, that's when all comparison just goes away. I call this developing agency. Agency is when you are really on your own. You think for yourself. You think by yourself. You make your own decisions. You're not influenced by what people are doing. You're not influenced by what other people say you should do. You know yourself. You know what you want. You know what you don't want. And you can choose what you want for yourself. When you reach the stage of agency, when you go deep inside and you learn what you really want, who you really are, you no longer can feel envious or jealous about other people. You can be inspired by that. Sometimes you can see somebody doing really much better than you, and you're like, wow, it's something I would want. But you don't see it with a jealous eyes. You don't see it from a comparison standpoint. You see it from a point of, I should do better. Let me try to go and get that thing for myself. When you're comparing yourself, you're essentially lost. You're just looking around, scanning for what other people are doing, and you're trying to kind of hook yourself on that socially approved way of getting value or approval. But when you discover who you are, when you find what's most important to you, all of that falls away. So to answer the question clearly and simply, you will stop comparing yourself to other people when you find what's most important to you, when you find yourself, when you develop agency. Let me give you an example of this. Let's say you want a car and you kind of buy a car that you think is cool, but then you see your friend driving a better car or a different car and you're like, I am jealous of him for having that car and I'm comparing my car to his car. But if I went out of my way and I found a car that really suits my needs, that I really want, that kind of fulfills my needs in multiple ways, I kind of ask myself, what's most important about a car for me? Then when I get it, when I get that car, I no longer compare myself to other people's cars. When you ask yourself, how do you want to live your life? Where do you want to live? What do you want to accomplish? Who do you want to be? How much money you want to make? And you don't come from a place of lack and you don't come from a place of powerlessness, but you come from a place of true desire and you answer those questions for yourself, now it's easy. I really want to encourage you to do this right now. Take a sheet of paper and jot down every area where you compare yourself to other people. And then second, I want you to jot down what you actually want in each of those areas. So if you're comparing yourself to other people's careers, ask yourself, what do I really want in a career? What kind of career would fulfill me? If you find yourself comparing to other people's lives, well, jot down, what kind of life and lifestyle would I like to have? Do I want to travel? If yes, how many times a year? Where? What kind of life would I like to build for myself? Remember, comparison often comes from you never taking the time to asking yourself, what do I want for myself? Not as a way to impress other people, but as a way to be happy with myself. If you can answer those questions to yourself, you will see that you'll stop comparing yourself to other people. You will no longer feel jealous. You will no longer feel envious. You'll feel like, they have the thing, good for them. I mean it, really good for them. And if they have something that you already want, you can be inspired by that. And you can walk over there and say, hey, what did you do exactly to get that thing? So as opposed to competition, you can see it as cooperation. So I hope this video helps you in letting go of comparison with other people. Till next time, this is Coach Omir.